Thanks, Matt. Hello. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the TR3DK. As you can see, when we first walked in, we were a two-person lift. Anything from the 55-inch all the way to the 98-inch, you'll need two people to move with the box. There are two handholds on either side of the box. The very bottom one is for moving the box with the display in it. The one above it will be to remove the top lid of the box itself. So to begin, we're going to remove the top portion. What you'll want to do is grab a hold of the top handholds and pull up. You can also cut the tape at the top of the lid, providing access to the styrofoam in advance. Once you have that open and you have removed the styrofoam, next is to cut open the bag or remove the tape to allow access to the back of the display, giving you the ability to install the VESA brackets using the M10 bolt. So it's an M10 bolt hole. Take an M10 screw, and just like any other VESA mount system, it's just screwing in the back braces so then we can actually mount it to the VESA plate. Now this VESA pattern is different depending on the display size. The 65-inch here is a 600 millimeters to 400 millimeters. The size below it, 55-inch, is 400 to 200. The 75-inch is 800, 400. And then the 98 and the 86-inch is 800 by 600 millimeters. So it changes a little bit. Just take note of whatever size you are utilizing, that your VESA mount matches that specification. Now that we have the brackets installed on the back of the display, it's time to install it to the VESA plate. Getting a second, since this is a two-person lift, grab the handle provided at the top of the display and pull straight up. You'll go right to the mount plate, attaching the top first and swiveling back down to ensure a successful connection. Once you have your display set, next thing you want to do, and don't forget it's still in the box, is the accessories. The first thing you're going to see is a power plug, IEC. This is a 6-foot cable for plugging in the display. The next one is a 6-foot HDMI cable. Another piece of this accessory kit is the pins itself. This two pins, you have your back and you have your front tips. There are replacement tips for this. 3 replacement tips, so in case your tips do get damaged over the time of use, you can replace them. So that they're not misplaced, you can secure the pins on the magnetic portions of the front bezel at the bottom of the display. The next piece is a Wi-Fi module. This is what gets inserted from the bottom of the display to enable Wi-Fi as well as hotspot capabilities. The final piece is the remote. Now the remote does not have batteries included. They are 2 AA's that you'll need to purchase separately. So to give you an overview of the inputs, you have your infrared for remote control. You have your light sensor for auto brightness. The USB-C port provides content to the display, but also will return power up to 65 watts to the device that's connected. You have one of the 3 HDMI inputs, as well as a touch input. These work hand in hand to enable a touch device, so when you touch the display, it'll replicate on your device's screen as well. After that, you have 2 USB 3.0 ports to provide either a files upload or to connect to your device. On the side of the display, you have your OPS slot. Removing this plate will give you access to slide in that OPS. Further down, we are at the RS-232 port. This will provide control ability. Right below that is your LAN, 2 Ethernet ports to plug in a hardline internet, as well as daisy chain to the next monitor if you have one. Right below that you have 2 USB 3.0s, just like the front, a touch USB connection, and then you have your HDMI 1 and 2 inputs on the side here, as well as an HDMI out, providing whatever's on screen out to an external monitor. And then you have a 2.0 USB for things like a wireless mouse, keyboard, and such. At the bottom of the display, you'll have a few more ports. You have a VGA port, and then you have an audio in and out using an 1/8 inch cable. And then the very last one is a optical audio out using fiber optic. So the first thing you want to grab is the IEC power plug. Go to the left of the back side of the display or the right side of the front. Once you have the IEC plugged in, all you'll need to do is flip the dip switch over to enable power to the display. And our last step is to power on the display to ensure everything is in working order. You will see it turn from red to white, showing that the display has turned on. And there you have it, from in the box to ready to use.